Hey guys, good morning from San Diego. This is Kirsten Johnson. And I wanted to make this video especially for you today because I've had this conversation several times this week with clients that I coach and even with a personal friend. So this is about facing your pain and about my experience, the 3 different phases of the spiritual journey. So I feel like in the beginning of the spiritual journey, when we first start waking up spiritually and we start learning about spiritual principles and we do affirmations and we start realizing that our thoughts are things and we can create a reality, we can start to, manifest stuff and we can feel powerful and that's a really fun and exciting phase of spirituality. But what I've noticed a lot, especially living in spiritual communities, is that there is a spiritual bypass that can happen where we mask, it's kind of, there's no other way to say this except for, well, this is the way that I like to say it. It's like we putting whipped cream on shit. And so that's like the plastering the smile, affirming everything's good when it's actually not good, when we are being avoidant of our own pain. Oh, hey, I love the hearts. Hi, guys. So that's really common, and I feel like in my own journey, that was my experience. When I first became sober in 2009, I definitely felt like I was in a pink cloud for years, for like 4 years, and everything was great. But what I didn't realize is underneath my plastered smile was actually a lot of pain that I hadn't actually met yet, or been able to meet, didn't have access to, or didn't have the spiritual muscles yet to actually be able to go in and face. And so. There's just been so many people recently, particularly about half my clients right now are going through this, where all of a sudden they've been on this spiritual path for several years. And by the way, starting a business is a great tool for personal growth because it brings up all your fears. And so what I've noticed is that people tend to think that something is wrong. When they all of a sudden reach all this pain comes, they think that something is wrong and they're not really sure what it is. But the way that I see it is the first step of the spiritual journey is, most of our lives we're running away from our pain because most of us have had we all have pain, right? So we have pain in childhood and then we spend our life running away from pain, and we're actually conditioned to do that. So what that looks like is trying to prove our lovability or trying to earn love through achievement, through being something, through becoming something, through possessions, through outside things. And then the second phase is when we actually stop running from our pain. We face our pain. And so the facing of the pain, and for me, this is a second dark night of the soul. So the first dark night of the soul for me was when I got sober, and the second dark night of the soul was when I was 5 years sober, and all of a sudden I met all of my original pain. And so it's pretty wild, it's pretty intense, and for me what that looked like was a lot of grieving, because I believe that anything that we haven't felt, it doesn't go away. Our issues are in our tissues, it is still in our body. And so the invitation here is, if you are going through it, go through it consciously. This is my big message for today. If you found yourself unexpectedly in all of this pain and you feel like you're drowning in this darkness and you don't know what to do and you're not sure, people feel like debilitated, like they can't even go to work. And if this is what you're going through, meet it consciously, because if we have 100 grievances that we have never felt from our childhood, they're like locked on our heart, is like the analogy that I take, and that by being present with each one as it comes up, by being present with the tears and going through the rage and the grief and feeling it and dropping into it, we release it. So then we have 99, and then we have 98, and then we have 97. So it's not digging through the past. The past will, on our path, on our spiritual path, the past will be revealed in the present. And it's just when we are present with it, when we are mindful of our emotions, when we experience them, we let them go. So, and then for me, the third phase, so the first phase is still running from our pain. The second phase is facing our pain. And then the third phase is creating whatever we want, not because we are running from a shame-based core. We're not running from anything. There's no shame that we have locked inside. There's no fear. It is us running because we love to run, and we love to create, and we love to be who we want to be in the world. And we can feel love, and we can feel joy, and we can feel all of the emotions because we're not running from anything. So the first phase is, and I think most, at least I'll speak for like my country, I think most Americans, can be relating from a shame core, maybe not toxic shame core, which I think a lot of addicts and alcoholics relate from, but the shame core of I'm not good enough, something. So if you relate to having these thoughts, it's shame. This is what shame sounds like. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. There's something fundamentally wrong with me. I'm flawed. I'm a fraud. I'm unlovable. That's what shame sounds like. And so when we have that shame tape playing, we're probably going to want to not hear it, right? Not feel it. So we're going to do whatever we can to avoid it. But if you stay present with those thoughts, with those feelings, boom, they go away. And that's actually what I call self-love. To be radically present with our feelings, to fully accept our feelings as they come. And just because I feel angry, let's say you did something and it triggered anger in me, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. But what this means to me is that I drop down and I feel my feelings and I let them move on. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, so if you are in it, keep going through it, be mindful. If you are mindful through your pain, you are actually doing some really next level deep healing work. And you're not alone. For me, the period actually felt really alone, but this is part of the spiritual journey. It is. And for me, it didn't come right away. It came a couple years into the spiritual journey, which really confused me because I thought I was on this path and then there was another huge dark night destruction. But meeting our pain, facing our pain, for me, like I said this already, I didn't have the spiritual muscles at the beginning of my spiritual journey to actually face my pain. I needed to learn how to meditate. I needed to learn mindfulness. I needed to learn how to meet my emotions. So if you're there, if you're in it, there is hope. It is nothing. This too shall pass. Everything is temporary. Everything you feel, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, everything will pass. And so if you're in it, if you are in the dark night of the soul right now, if you are meeting your original pain, know that meeting it presently will set you free. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. And leave any comments that you have below. If you know anybody who's going through a dark time right now, a depression, a breakup, some major change in their life, send them this video, forward them this video, or post it on your own wall, because I think that this is really important to know that it is temporary, and if we are mindful during it, it will pass, we will grow, we will evolve. I believe that we are here to evolve. We are souls inside bodies, and the whole purpose of all this is for our spirit and our soul to evolve. But who cares what I believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? Meet your pain with presence and you will be free. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.